Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We begin with Alejandro Balde, as Barca are reportedly aware a Premier League club is willing to pay big money for the La Masia graduate. We are going to discuss more on that story as we progress. Secondly, talking about Liverpool midfielder and former Barca midfielder as well, Thiago Alcantara is reportedly an option for Barca to replace Gavi in January. We are going to be discussing on that shocking story as well. So as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Much like a rich harvest after patient cultivation, a multitude of young talents have sprouted from Barcelona's youth academy, La Masia. Alejandro Balde is one of the recent success stories, having stormed his way into the starting 11 last season to usurp the starting left back slot from Jordi Alba. Owing to his immense contributions, the club was keen to tie him down to the club, and an agreement was thus reached to extend his contract until June 30, 2028, with a termination clause of €1 billion. While Barre remains an indispensable asset for the Catalan Giants, he is also a lucrative option with the potential to bring in great funds. Indeed, according to Sport, Barde's agent, George Mendes, remarked during the contract negotiations that if they needed revenue, the fullback could be a valuable asset to study. Why a sale is not a possibility at this time, Barca are aware of one Premier League team in particular that is prepared to pay an absurd amount of money for the player. Before extending his contract, Manchester City were rumored to be vying for the Spaniard's signature, as Pep Guardiola's side were willing to make a bid or even offer a player as part of an exchange deal for Bardet. The citizens were met with a negative response, but with Barcelona's current financial position, their tone towards suitors may begin to deviate. So we're talking about the fact that Barca may bite the bullet. Strapped for cash, Barcelona are actually aware of the financial sacrifices they must make to regain some footing. Barca is one of the most promising young talents in world football, but Barca next summer will potentially have to sell one of their top assets to improve their finances, and Barde may be the one facing the axe. Although Barde is still a starter, the fullback's performances have begun to waver, with his offensive contributions particularly decreasing, leading to concerns at Barcelona about the young star. At the moment, both parties wish to achieve success together, and Barde is keen on leaving a mark at his boyhood club. Nonetheless, alternatives are being studied, and the interest from Premier League heavyweights will be taken into account. Of course, Bade has been a player that has impressed fans, especially last season when he made the left wing position, the left back position his own. But this season it has not been all the same. Earlier, we heard some reports today saying that Gavi and his coaching staff are very much concerned about Bade's recent performances. That is, he has not been performing to the level of expected of him, and I don't know if it's because he feels so comfortable that he has gained that position to be his own. Jordi Alba left Barca last summer to the US to play for Inter Miami, and of course, Marcos Alonso, being the other left back choice, have not been performing well whenever given the opportunity. So Bade, I've always believed that he is the best choice to be played as left back. So I don't know if it is a matter of being complacent, because if that's the case, he should stop that, because it doesn't mean anything. The fact that he's indispensable, he's also killing his career, because if Barca really wants to get a huge chunk of money from Bade, he must improve his performance. But nonetheless, he is still a valuable player, regardless of the performance levels he has been putting up this season. So let's see how it goes. We are talking about him being linked to a Premier League club, which was not even been named in this report. Of course, I think last summer, a lot of reports were talking about Manchester City showing strong interest. But this time around, it seems as though another Premier League giant is showing strong interest in Balde. Of course, the player is happy to be at Barca, and I think Barca themselves, to be honest, they want to keep him. They don't want to sell him because we don't even have reliable left backs now that we can say, let's just kick him out. No. But as we have said earlier, the temptation for money, especially at Barcelona, where they are going through a lot of financial predicaments, it might just change the whole thing. There might be just a player who will be sacrificed that might shock everyone, you know, because there have been a lot of reports insisting that Barca need to sacrifice at least one of their key assets in the upcoming transfer windows in order to ensure that they somehow, you know, they somehow try to solve the issues that they are having financially. But it's not going to be easy. It's not. So will Bade be the next person that Barca might think to sacrifice? Let's just cross our fingers and see. Then on to the final story of discussion. The ACL injury to Gavi this past weekend has changed the transfer plan for Barca heading into the January transfer window. The idea had been to bring in Vitor Roque as a top priority in the winter, but with Gavi now ruled out for the remainder of the season, the focus is now also on roping in a new midfielder. The fact that La Liga regulations allow Barca to make an emergency signing to replace Gavi, despite exceeding salary limit, as long as some conditions are met, opens the door for a move. Amidst this, Sport is reporting that Liverpool veteran midfielder Thiago Alcantara could be an option for FC Barcelona in their bid to replace Gavi in the January transfer window. The former Barca man's contract with the Reds expired next year, meaning he could be an affordable target for the Catalans come the January window. The report suggests that Liverpool would be open to the idea of letting Thiago leave in the winter thanks to the commitment he has shown to the club in the past 3 years. The veteran Spaniard has been struggling with some fitness problems in recent times, but is expected to be in perfect condition by the time the new year rolls in. Apart from the financial viability of the operation, what makes Thiago an enticing option for Barca is that he knows the club inside out and is aware of the Barca DNA. Xavi knows Thiago well and believes that the midfielder will not take much time to adapt to the tactics and would be a good fit in the interior midfield position. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.